Welcome back to the Week 9 NFL Prediction Show from your favorite YouTube channel on the planet, the Illegal Use of Hands, Hands to the Face YouTube channel. Jake, you seem to be very into my intro this week. What are you thinking? If this is people's first time watching, they're probably thinking we're both psychopaths, so try to convince them that we're not.
We're super narcissistic.
Nice. We got him in here now.
Yeah.
Thank you for grabbing their attention. I don't know. You want to get right into the games?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump right in.
Okay. Thursday Night Football, we've got the New York Jets heading to play the Indianapolis Colts. And weird feelings about both these teams, to say the least.
Yeah. The Colts finally have like an easy game, really, outside of their division.
Ooh.
But again, easy is a stretch because Mike White is just coming off one of the best career opening games ever. Like on par with Cam Newton levels of debut game. I don't know. I really don't know how this game is gonna go. I feel like the Colts should win it, but because also the Colts are not the number one team in the AFC, so that that should be able to stymie the Jets from beating them. Yeah, Mike White I feel like is bound to like have a worse game than he had last week, at least by a bit. Um, and Carson, I can't even say no. The Colts are a worse team than the Bengals are, but it's just the Jets, so I think they're gonna lose. Like that, it's such an anomaly, and like you said in our last episode, like it's just one of those what the heck games that happened like during the season. Probably the biggest one this season, at least that will happen. So I feel like you kind of have to take that as its own and then move it to the side. As much as Jets fans probably hate to hear that, you kind of have to because it's such an anomaly. Uh, and with me saying all this and rambling, I got the Colts winning this one.
The Jets' two big upsets have come at home this year. You're right, I guess, in terms of speaking about the Colts not really being like a huge, I don't know, like obstacle in the Jets' faces of like, oh, they're not like one of the best teams in the AFC. I do think the Colts are a better team though, and the Colts have played with basically everybody they've went up against, even though they've won less than half their games.
Mhm.
I still think that they're a better team than the Jets, and they should beat them. Doesn't mean they will, but I'm
Yeah,
picking the Colts this week.
yeah.
Next game is the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the New York Giants.
Yeah.
This
This
is interesting.
this game might have gotten more interesting because of the Henry Ruggs news and how that will affect the Raiders as a whole.
Mhm.
Um, the Giants aren't good. The Raiders are definitely better than the Giants, but it just comes down to how is the team going to play after news like that? Because it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. Um, I'm still going to go with Vegas in this one. Uh, I just think that the Giants aren't that great of a team, even sticking with the Chiefs that much, but almost every team is stuck with the Chiefs. Uh, yeah, I it's really easy to picture Vegas losing this one, but at the same time, I just can't pick against them. I don't know. I really don't know. It's 100% the reaction from the Henry Ruggs news from this team and how that it affects their play or if it affects their play at all.
The Raiders have been the most like feeling based team for me this season. And
Mhm.
every time that I've had like a strong feeling about them one way or another, which I can't really say there's been many opportunities for other teams to even have me have like one strong feeling about them yet this season. Meanwhile, this is like the third time the Raiders have. The feeling the first time when they were going up against Baltimore, and Baltimore was just like week one of the season, just completely destroyed in terms of injuries. I was like, yeah, it makes sense to go with the Raiders. That's my feeling, and that's what I'm going to do. I got that right. Then the week after John Gruden left, and I said, oh, I feel like they could potentially be better without John Gruden. They really showed up to play. Uh, I feel this week that this is something that's going to be very hard to get over and just like wrap your head around. I don't know. I guess the one thing that maybe makes it a little easier on them, that it may be able to at least be off their minds slightly, is the fact that it came up earlier in the week as opposed to later in the week. But still, I just think that's gonna mess up their whole process. And they've got to travel across the country east to play the Giants in an early window. Not looking like a good thing. So I'm taking the Giants in this one just because my feeling is that the Raiders won't be in a good spot, even though I think the Raiders are a better team than the Giants.
Yeah, no, picking this game is a complete feeling on how you think the Raiders are going to react to the news. That I really think that if that wouldn't have came up, it's 100% the Raiders are like the go-to pick here, unless you're just like grasping for a upset. But
Yeah,
no, I feel you on that one. It's completely understandable.
yeah. Atlanta and New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans stunned everyone by beating Tampa. Jameis is gone now, though. Don't know who's going to be the QB for the Saints in this game. If it's going to be Taysom or he's still going to be nursing that concussion, and it's going to be Trevor Simeon. Maybe put Ian Book out there. And kick the
The
wheels
way
on
the
him.
way you said that, the way you said maybe put Ian Book out there is probably wow. Wow. That
I
is
like Ian Book.
that is maybe the most strong conviction I've heard anyone have about anything today.
Hey, that's what this is for, right? Strong opinions. Um. Oh wait, no, that's a different show. Um.
Crap.
But yeah, I don't know if the Saints are going to be able to bounce back better. Like after that Saints game, it came down to Jameis getting them that lead. Jameis gets hurt. Trevor Simeon gets in. Maintain this lead. Oh no, you lost us this lead. Okay, you thankfully got it back for us and ended up winning us the game. Uh, I don't know if that happens again. I don't even know if Taysom starts because if Taysom starts if they win this game because he's coming in cold. Taysom is coming in cold. He hasn't seen action in 9 weeks. I mean, and then some because of the offseason and everything. Um, I don't like picking Atlanta because they just have the innate ability to disappoint. Uh, but I'm gonna go with them in the Superdome as an upset. I They have a better QB. The overall team isn't better, but I like Matt Ryan more than Trevor Simeon or Taysom, so that's gonna be my logic for that one.
Man,
If I see a game where Trevor Simeon or Taysom Hill, I don't know what they're gonna do, look good, then yeah, I'll stick with the Saints. But right now, I'm gonna roll the dice and pick the opposite team in this one.
and it's just I mean, it's the NFL. So I mean, the Jets can beat Cincinnati. Just gonna keep talking about it, but man, that just feels gross to me. I can't with how the Falcons have been playing. Um, pick them over a team that just beat potentially the best team in the NFL. They literally just beat them in this building that they will also be playing this game in. Um, I don't like that. Even no matter who's starting at quarterback for the Saints, I'm pretty confident in Sean Payton to put together a formula that's at least going to put them in some sort of position to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
I really wouldn't feel comfortable picking Atlanta, so I'm picking New Orleans.
All right, I don't blame you. I needed some upsets, so
Man, I actually have a decent amount of upsets this week, but I had I had I knew I had to pick three, and like my conviction wasn't the Giants one that I've already mentioned. Yeah, there's a reason to that one, but the other ones, like maybe I only should have picked two of them because none of them are like terribly strong convictions. But I've actually got four more upsets because I felt equal about them that I'm just like I'll pick them all, and if two of them hit, I'll be happy. So we'll
Mm.
we'll see how that goes. But the next game should be pretty easy to talk about. Buffalo at Jacksonville.
Is it? Is it gonna be easy to talk about? No, I told you after last week. I've just been screwing myself too much by picking against the Bills, and I will go back to doing it. I will reserve going back to do it if they lose to the Jags with me picking them in this game. I'm picking the Bills. I'm picking the Bills to win this one. It's the
So
first time I've picked the Bills to win a game since week 1.
so yes, I hope that if the Bills lose to Jacksonville, I
It's
don't
100% me and you then. It's 100% me and you
dude,
influencing the losses
I
then.
don't know how I'll feel if the Bills lose to Jacksonville because I feel like the only team I feel like every AFC team should be really hurt right now about one of their losses at least. NFC, like the losses at least that have come for the good teams in the NFC have came against other good teams. Every single good AFC team has lost a game in like some gross fashion that has been much worse than they would like. So that's the weird part about it right now. So if they lose to Jacksonville, I mean, yeah, I'll be in a bad state, but I'm picking Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's 14 points favorites on the road. That
Time to put some money on Jacksonville, man.
we'll see. We'll see if Vegas is right about that. But like I said, all I'm worried about now is having one more point than the other team. So going in with that mindset from here on out.
Mhm.
Picking Buffalo though. Cleveland at Cincinnati.
Yeah, the Battle of Ohio. I mean, the Bengals tweeted something out today where it's like, "Hey, Deltha O'Neal highlight," and I sent that to you since he's your guy.
Yeah.
Um, which I mean, I wasn't expecting to see that today. Just some Deltha O'Neal highlights, pick six from him. Uh, but Cleveland still hurt. OBJ isn't playing in this game. Doesn't seem like he's going to be playing in a lot of games, but I don't know, maybe cutting him out of the team, not like cutting him as a whole, but cutting him out of the team's day-to-day operations helps the team, uh, clears their mind, but the team is still banged up bad, and they're going into Cincinnati, and I hope Cincinnati's ticked off after losing to the Jets. Like, I don't know how much of a leader of men Zach Taylor is. Like, he seems like a guy that, you go to a cookout because your friend from school invited you over, and he's the dad that's standing by the grill, and it's like, oh, that looks like a dad. Like, that's what Zach Taylor looks like. I don't know how much of a leader of men he is. He's like, oh, come on, guys. Oh, shucks. That was a bad loss, but, well, if you fall off the horse, you got to hop back on.
To our fans, we we've talked about ideas for the off season. When football gets boring. I just need to tell this to you now. Just because I feel like otherwise I may forget. Um, we make jokes about Bruce Arians, but those are more in private. I think for
Mhm.
the illegal use of hands to the face football team, the head coach of that team has to be Zach Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Oh,
just
yeah.
because like we actually talking about the show when we do that, I think he has to be the head coach of that team. I don't think it
Yeah,
can be
no, we don't
anybody
make a
else.
lot of Bruce Arians jokes on the show,
Just
but Zach,
mentioning how good the Buccaneers are and just like glossing over their coaching. So yeah, no, I think Zach Taylor has to be the coach of that team. So watch out for that. We're looking way
in
into the
like
future
in
now.
February or
Yeah,
March, yeah,
yeah.
watch
When
out for that.
nothing's going on, and we release the illegal use of hands to the face, team. But yeah,
First
um,
anniversary team.
first anniversary team, absolutely. Um, so Cleveland and Cincinnati. This game feels really weird. Mostly because had high hopes for these teams at points, and now like both of them kind of are in a rough spot with me. So I'm like, well, one of them should win this game. It could end up being a tie, but one of them should win this game. So who do I want to go with? It's actually probably a lot closer for me than people would expect. I feel like Cincinnati. I feel like Cincinnati makes sense here, but also this was one of those games where I could see it going either way that I talked about earlier. So just because I could see it going either way, this is one of my upside games as well, and I'm taking Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. We'll have to see how bad the injuries for them still are, obviously, but I still think that I don't think that they'll just like lay down and just like take Cincinnati absolutely whooping them. I don't think that'll be the case at all.
Yeah, no. I agree. It's gonna be a close game.
So we got New England at Carolina next.
Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna be a close game though.
No.
Belichick has made Sam Darnold see ghosts. I mean, his
PJ
entire
Walker.
career. Oh, that I didn't actually think about that. It'll be PJ Walker. I think that just adds on to my point though. He won't make PJ Walker see ghosts though, but PJ Walker, I love PJ Walker. I'm gonna preface this with saying I love PJ Walker. PJ Walker though, I don't know how he's going to react to a New England defense. I've seen him react to a DC defender defense, um, but not a New England Patriots defense led by Bill Belichick. Yeah, I think the Patriots just, go into Carolina and win this one. And I think it's obvious when like you're a road team and you're not the underdog, especially when it's like two teams record wise that are pretty close like this. Like everyone realizes, the Panthers are kind of phonies.
Yeah. I talked about the Panthers being like on a downtrend and how I needed them to break that before I could pick them in a game. They broke it, but they also broke it against like one of the most broken teams in the NFL. Do I believe that? Do I believe in like a quarterback with limited NFL experience to beat Bill Belichick? Probably not, man. Yeah, I'm going with New England, and I'm locking New England for this week.
Whoa, okay, okay.
So, with that being the case, Denver at Dallas.
Yeah, out of all the games this week, I think this is the one that I had to think the least amount for. That and the Bills game. But still with the Bills, I had to think about it. It's like, do I just pick Jacksonville here for the sake of it? But this one, Dallas all the way. Even if Dak is still not playing, which I'm pretty sure he is going to, but even if he isn't, I think Cooper Rush still beats the Broncos by 2 scores.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking at the game, like just seeing this, being like, like thinking about it, when I just saw it, like there's nothing in my mind that gives like Denver any chance in this one. But then after like last week, I feel like I have to question everything now. So now like I'm sitting here trying to think about it. I don't know what I've seen from Denver this year that would make me pull away from Dallas though. I I gotta go with Dallas, and I
Okay,
like
who?
I wanna like no, I'm just like trying to even like spin something in my mind to try to feel
Hmm.
like Denver could have a chance, but this is really one where even though I wouldn't say Denver's not a bad team in terms of their record. And Dallas is obviously a good team too, but they've got some things going against them. Like I still don't know how this game would have to be very strange for Denver to pull it out in my opinion.
No, I agree. Dallas has to do a lot wrong to lose this game to the Broncos. And it seems
Yeah.
like Pat Shermer uh just wants to like have the worst offense in the NFL. Maybe not statistically wise, but just play calling wise, he is garbage. He's so bad. Like there are some bad OCs in the NFL. Might be the worst. It just some of the play calls he has, like a screen pass on 3rd and 10. Yeah, every coach does something dumb like that at some point. But he's like running rocket screens on like 1st and 5 or whatever after a holding, and then it's just like, oh, that's overthrown. Or I mean, that's not fully on him, but he's just doing some of the dumbest things in the world. And it's like you got Javonte Williams who's like breaking out now. Why don't you use him a little bit? It's like no, we need to keep Teddy like frustrated by having him force passes into windows that are like non-existent for a QB like him.
Are are the best coaching are the best coaching staffs in the league the coaching staffs that not not I think there's a problem with coaching staffs that you can have. I think a coaching staff can just be like completely too old. This one of
Hmm.
the reasons I'm not attracted to Denver and really haven't been is the fact that I don't know anyone who's young on the coaching staff.
No,
Like the offense and the defensive minds of the team are both older guys. I don't like hearing that. The other issue you can have is if everybody on a coaching staff is too young. That can hurt it. That can hurt a team too. Or you can have some sort of like nice combo where you have someone like Sean McVay hired as a head coach and then immediately have him bring in a guy like Wade Phillips to be his defensive coordinator. I think those types of things work. And the only other scenario I would like to mention is not when you start with the offensive, with the young coaches, and like initially they struggle, but they can build something over time. So like you're going to be bad with those initial ones, like, oh, the first 3 years under this staff, if you're willing to go through that, like it's going to be gross, but if you build through those years, then it could be good. Somebody like Zach Taylor, where he's at now, maybe finally actually like getting over the point where it's like, okay, his whole staff is young, but it may actually be like, okay, hey, they've got something going finally.
Yeah.
But I don't. But the thing that I want to go back and talking about all those different scenarios is like I do not see the advantage in having basically all of your coaching staff be older guys. I don't think that makes sense ever.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't like about the Broncos.
Vic Fangio's 63. His DC, Steve Donatel, is 64, and Pat Shurmur is 56.
Yeah, I don't know how much I love that.
No.
It's not anything that I'm too excited about. But I mean, I just wanted to point that out because I feel like that may be something with Denver that I haven't really bothered to talk about before that is important to mention at some point, since I just like finally actually got that idea together in my head. But
No.
Sorry for pausing on them for so long.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
So that leads us into Minnesota at Baltimore.
This is gonna be a close one. I don't actually believe that, but I'm required to say that. Actually, no, I do believe it. It's going to happen because Minnesota keeps every game of theirs close. I think the Ravens pull it out though, even if it's close. But I want to imagine that this is the one game where Minnesota finally just gets curb stomped, and it's like, yeah. The Ravens are coming out of their bye this week, correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
because they haven't played a game since they played
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. So they're coming out of their bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this team. I don't know how you prepare for just like uber luck and just the football gods wanting to keep one game close a week.
No, it's not luck. It's literally about how Kirk Cousins chooses to play depending on the team he's going against.
Yeah. Well, he should choose to win this game then. I don't think he will, because Kirk Cousins, he's Kirk Cousins. He sucks.
Listen, I'm allowed to be a Minnesota fan and not pick them in every game.
What fan are you? Yeah, I got the Ravens winning this one at home against the Vikings.
I completely agree with you. I'm picking Baltimore too. No, I'm not picking Minnesota this week. The talk about Vikings keeping games close. Yeah, they'll probably keep the game close, but I really trust the Ravens coaching staff from top to bottom in terms of how they control games, and I feel like they're going to be able to figure out how they need to coach at the end of this game to pull this one out, even if it stays close. But absolutely, if there's the potential for either team to run away in this, it is 100% Baltimore and not Minnesota at all. There's no way Minnesota runs away with this game.
What?
No way. Even if they build a lead, they're going to let Baltimore get back into it. So
no. Minnesota? No.
Oh, wow. Trying to bully me, eh? Okay. Next game. Houston at Miami.
I would pick whoever the home team was for this one.
Half what I was thinking.
It just so happens to be Miami. When I was looking at the odds, I don't know if like my brain was like trying to convince me of something that wasn't there, but I looked at it, I was like, oh, Miami's the underdog for this one. They aren't, but like when I was looking at the betting lines and everything, I was like, oh yeah, makes sense. And I looked at it again, I was like, oh no, they're not. They're home, so it makes sense that they're favored to win. But yeah, I'm picking Miami. Maybe Tua wants to just like stick it to Houston, be like, yeah, this is what you're getting, or stick it to Miami and just be like, yeah, why you want to trade me? See, I can beat them.
Yeah. No, see, this is another one of the games that I think is a pretty close one. And honestly, it's like it's like generally speaking, probably lean Miami, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, there's like 4 games this week where I'm like kind of pretty close to going either way, and say if I get half of them right, I'll be happy. So I'm going with Houston just because I don't feel like it's too ridiculous to say that they could beat a bad Miami team um, on the road, even though I think Miami's a little bit more talented than Houston.
Oh yeah, yeah, I feel that way too. It's just I don't know, home field advantage with all those fans dressed as seats.
It's not an okay joke. It's not Halloween anymore.
I I mean, it was a pretty funny joke last week. For that Houston game, a lot of fans dressed as seats.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and quickly moving on to the Chargers heading to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and quickly picking this game, I'm going with the Chargers here. Maybe I'd pick Philly. Maybe if Miles Sanders was there, and they also ran the ball, but they don't. They also don't run the ball with Kenneth Gainwell either. They just throw it to him. And I don't know how much faith I have in Boston Scott to be the lead back and just tear up a defense. So yeah, I'm going with the Chargers.
I can't believe anything that you just said. I'm taking the Chargers. Green Bay at Kansas City.
Yeah, this is one that we've talked a little bit on another show. Um, go and check that out. We'll probably post all about that.
Good. I was gonna say we probably should post all about that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a game that I mean, Rodgers isn't going to be playing in it, so that's kind of the big headline for it. It's at KC. Jordan Love's getting the start. Kansas City's defense is still bad, still very porous. They added Melvin Ingram, but I mean, yeah, duct tape doesn't do a lot for a sinking ship. Uh, and I think Jordan Love wins his first career start for the Packers on the road in Arrowhead against the high-powered Chiefs offense, and also like Jair Alexander ends up snagging like 2 picks or something that are like
Okay.
off of Tyreek Hill's hands. They're not bad throws. They're just off of Tyreek Hill's hands.
You think he's gonna give him to Jair, not like somebody else? Maybe a Darnell Savage, maybe an Adrian Amos,
Evan
maybe.
King gets his redemption.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I mean, like Tyreek's, you're right. They're off Tyreek's hands, so you could like bat it to anyone.
Yeah, just volleyball set.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
Oh, nice.
No, yeah. They Kansas City's still playing the way they have. So let's just assume that they're going to keep playing like they've been playing, and we'll hope that those 2 plays that I described in that other show that we will link to on probably YouTube. If it's not on YouTube, check Instagram. If it's not on Instagram, check Twitter.
On Twitter, check LinkedIn.
They're all here. Yeah, check LinkedIn. That's a good one. But yeah, like we discussed on that other show, I'm really just worried about like I think this game does come down to like 2 Jordan Love plays. Like he'll make at least 2 bad decisions in this game, one in each half, and it's just like how bad are they? Are they bad enough
Mhm.
that they turn into turnovers, and do points come off those turnovers? And what happens there? But I think the Packers right now are a better team than the Chiefs as a whole with Jordan Love at QB, just because I'm comparing that to the team the Chiefs went against the other night, which was the banged up Giants, and I think the Packers are better than that. So
Mhm.
so if the Packers are better than that, then they should be able to basically be even with the Chiefs, and I don't see any reason that they can't pull away. So that's also an upset for me.
Okay. Nice.
Um, Arizona at San Francisco.
I think Arizona gets their redemption in this one. Gets a little pep in their step after that loss against Green Bay on Thursday night. Division rival in San Fran at San Fran. It's gonna be close because it's a divisional game, and the last time these two played, which I mean, again, these just divisional games that are happening like back to back, so close in the season, or not back to back, but very close in the first half of the season. Um, that they gave him trouble the last time they played, but that was with Trey Lance and Jimmy G. I think he's still gonna be the QB. I don't know what they're gonna do. Um, but yeah, it's a little bit different. Jimmy G is gonna be out there. He's not as inexperienced as Trey Lance, but at the same time, I think Arizona. has a bad taste in their mouth after that last game is going to try to get some redemption in it and bully around a San Fran team that has not lived up to at least my expectations.
Yeah, talked about wins and losses being really the important thing at the end of the season. Well, San Fran has a lot more losses than Arizona. So, I mean, that's a pretty easy reason to say I'm going to go with Arizona. But also, the Cardinals still, even in finally losing a game, still haven't had like a bad performance to me. Like they were right
Oh
there in
no.
that game. So, I mean, I don't see any reason to pick against the Cardinals still. While San Francisco on the other hand has shown me a on multiple occasions now reasons to pick against them. So I'll go
Mhm.
with Arizona, but yes, very important to mention that this is a divisional game, and we know how wild those can get.
Mhm.
Um, and then the game I was so excited for all summer long. Sunday's my birthday, so happy to get a nice Sunday night game for my birthday present. And no, that's not going to be the case because Derrick Henry isn't playing for the Titans, so that makes this game much less interesting to me. Maybe it actually is a blessing in disguise because the Titans are actually doing this on purpose so that my birthday present will really be a big AJ Brown coming out party, like 200 plus yards, multi touchdown game. But I don't think that's actually how the game's gonna go. And I think lacking Derrick Henry, I think the Titans can still be good without Derrick Henry. But this is one of the
Mhm.
best teams in the league, and you're traveling to their building. That's not a great recipe for success. I'm taking the Rams.
It's the best birthday present for you. AJ Brown's gonna get 200 yards and AP's gonna get 200 yards. It's,
That would
it's
be
gonna be a great
amazing.
birthday for you.
That would be
Um,
awesome.
yeah, I still think that this game's gonna be closer than we're expecting it to be. Um, I know Derrick Henry is 80% of that team's offense, or at least has been this season. But getting Tannehill to sling the ball around a little bit more can't do him harm. He hasn't been as good as he has been previously. But maybe he just needs to get back in. They're not gonna lose the play action. You don't have to run the ball to even have good play action. Like you don't.
Nope.
Um, so they're not losing
It's
that
the best
aspect of the
thing. It's
game.
the best part of the
That was the
NFL.
that was the dumbest thing that I saw someone on ESPN talk about. It's like, oh, they're losing the play action. Every team in the NFL has play action. The
Hmm.
the Cardinals never run the ball, and they have play action. Like it's the dumbest argument ever. Uh, the game's gonna be closer. It's in LA. The Rams are favored, and I'm locking up the Rams to win this one. So
Ooh.
maybe your birthday present will be you catching up and tying me with locks then if the Rams lose this
Well,
one.
that's also saying that then New England has to win their game. Maybe it
Hmm.
will be, but man, I kind of forgot you still had to make a lock for this week because I definitely wasn't considering that it'd be either of the teams on Monday night. I know there's no way you'd lock either of these teams at this point. Um, but yeah, okay, that's an exciting lock. Um, because I do think the game will still be interesting. It's just I'm just annoyed that Derrick Henry isn't going to be a part of
Oh
why
yeah.
it's interesting. Even if the Titans do keep it close, I like the Titans. I like watching the Titans more if Derrick Henry's playing. Um,
Hmm.
but hopefully, like we said, it gets them to get the receivers more involved.
Hmm.
But with all that being said, potentially, man, this is like I have no idea. I'm very excited to hear you pick one of these teams because it's just like neither of these teams are teams that you have been like appreciative of uh, in recent weeks at all. I mean, some of them, one of them, you haven't been appreciative of all season at all. So, I mean, you have to pick one of them. So, I'm interested to see where you go here. And actually, I can't even remember how many locks you've done so far. So, or sorry, upsets you've done so far. So I really don't know which one you're going to go with. So I'm excited to hear you have to make an argument for one of these teams, and
Well, it
that's
ain't gonna be.
Chicago at Pittsburgh.
I ain't picking Pittsburgh. I ain't picking Pittsburgh. I refuse to.
I definitely
Um,
ain't picking Chicago either.
yeah, I'm hoping both teams just have a terrible time and it's a tie at the end. Nah, I'm picking Chicago in an upset. To win this one on the road in Pittsburgh. Monday night primetime. Justin Fields' first primetime start of his career. It's gonna be tough. He's going up against a Pittsburgh defense that ain't nothing to sneeze at, but at the same time, uh, Chicago's defense is just as good. So I believe they could shut down Big Ben. And what's the golden number, Hayden?
17.
I think the Bears can put up more than 17 points. So I got the Bears winning this one in an upset.
I know. I'm having trouble with it. I'm really having trouble with it. I'm really excited for this game. I feel like there's no, like, both of these offenses have done nothing, which means that this game can never get out of reach, which is why I'm so excited for it. And I'm one of like the few people, especially like young people nowadays, that is like very okay watching defensive football, even if it's because of just putrid offense. So with that being said, I'm extremely excited for this game before I even mention who I'm actually going to be picking. This may be like one of the maybe not Monday night games, but just this may be the game this week that I'm most interested in watching. But with all that being said, the number is 17 for Pittsburgh. But where Chicago's been at recently, if they hadn't done what they had done last week, I probably would have picked Pittsburgh. But seeing them get to 22 last week, now it's like, okay, what's the mark I would set for Chicago? The mark for Chicago, at least at this point in the season right now, is also 17. So I'm like, how do I do this? So what did I do? I mentioned it earlier. I had like 4 games that I thought were pretty close for upsets. And I like the idea of having more upsets. So I'm also picking Chicago because I think it's even, and I'll take another upset to potentially get that right. I think it's more impressive if you actually get games right that you pick against the spread. So pick against the spread, and I'll go Chicago since I believe it. They're pretty much equal.
Nice. I like your pick.
Of course, as long as it's against Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
Well, I picked Pittsburgh last week and they won. So I don't know though. How's that make you feel? Was that evil of me to do that?
Betrayed.
I betrayed you.
You know, if you love something, set it free. It comes back. If it records another episode with you, it's meant to be.
Oh. Wow, I think that's the most poetic outro we've ever had. Are you all set?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh. Shoot, we can't cut it there because we actually have to talk about what's going to make us look stupid this week. What's going to make you look stupid?
If I was actually the prophet for the Bills' wins and losses, and me picking them ends up losing, but that's just personal Bills game. I don't know if Minnesota keeps the game close with Baltimore and ends up pulling it out, I think I'll look stupid then.
I don't feel like it's going to happen. I'm the Minnesota supporter, and I don't feel like it's going to happen.
Out of all the games so far this season, once we've started realizing this, it feels like this is the one where it shouldn't happen, which makes me think all the more reason why it should happen.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. If the Raiders just brush off the Ruggs thing and just dominate, that'll make me look stupid. Because realistically, expect them to dominate, but this thing, yeah. All right. Sorry, we killed your poetic ending, but you all set?
Yes, I think we can cut this here.